Hello, I am Maria Stefani Luna, and in this video I'm going to talk about the difference between modern and traditional marriage. This is a final production for English conversation number 1. I am a student of Universidad Abierta para Adultos UAPA, and this is the class of the facilitator Angel Rafael Torres. So, keep watching to know more about this topic. The main objective of this project is to establish the difference between the marriage today and marriage in the past. Our concept of marriage today is different from what it was in the past. The traditional and the modern marriage are way different, and people's perspective on it have changed drastically. The economics, gender roles, freedom of choice, and roles of sex are some of the changes that the marriage has been through. Also, the definition of marriage was re-examined when divorce became socially accepted and gay rights were established. Marriage has changed throughout the decades. In the past, the concept of marriage was different than what it was today. There are many big differences between these two types of marriages, the traditional and the modern one. According with Freddie Silver, who wrote the article called Differences Between Modern and Traditional Marriage, are 4 categories where these two marriages have changed. The economics, gender roles, freedom of choice, and role of sex are those 4 categories. The economics of marriages. In the traditional marriage, the men were the main source of income for the family, and the woman would stay at home. In the modern marriage, the man and the woman are able to work and supply for the family. Gender roles. In the past, the gender had defined roles, and in today's marriages is not the same. The wives could be the one that goes out and work, and the husband could stay at home taking care of the kids. The freedom of choice. Years and years ago, women didn't have the freedom to marry someone. Most of the time, her parents choose their husbands, even though this is still happening in some traditions. In most modern developed countries, both men and women get married voluntarily based on the love to become equal partners. Roles of sex. In the area of traditional marriages, it was accepted not have sex until one was married. Premarital sex was a taboo. However, now for many people it is not an exception, and it should be noted that it is still important for many couples to wait until marriage to have sex. Also, traditional marriage was only between a man and a woman, but sadly, in the modern marriage, people with the same sex can get married too, which is not a natural thing. Divorce has grown a lot in today's marriage too. In conclusion, in the previous lines, we could see that marriage have changed a lot in people's perspective on it. Marriage is not the same what it was anymore. Lots of the changes have been for good, but some of them have not. This topic is very important because it allows us to see the perspective in the positive and negative growth that the society has had. This is my final production for this class, and I hope you could learn and could understand my point. I agree with the marriage, and I am happy that some traditional marriage things have changed, but also I am really sad that some modern marriage traditions or things are destroying our natural marriage. But just let you know that I agree with the marriage between a man and a woman, but I disagree completely between the marriage with the people with the same sex.